What's the challenge tonight with the Wild?
Yeah, I mean, they're a great team offensively and defensively. So, yeah, it's always fun when we play them.
So you have guys coming in out of the lineup, and your line in particular seems to have new faces on it every couple of games. How do you adjust to that?
Yeah, by now I played with a lot of the guys, so I think we have established some chemistry with everybody.
That said, would you like some solidity to your line, like for the final couple of months of the season?
Yeah, of course that would be nice. But I mean, guys have been hurt and out of the lineup, so it's hard to control that situation.
Do you talk Swedish with Pontus when you play with him, or is it all English for Max's sake?
I usually talk Swedish to Pontus, for the most part, yeah.
How do you feel the chemistry is like with him?
With Pontus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been great. I think he's tremendous at holding on to pucks, finding me in areas, playing good defensively as well. So, yeah, it's been nice.
How would you say his English is coming along? It was a bit of a struggle at first.
Has he done any interviews lately? I don't know. You guys tell me. I only speak Swedish to him.
What can the team do just in general to get the offense going again after a couple of quieter games on the goals front?
Yeah, I mean, they've been quieter about scoring goals, but I think we've been creating a lot and, having ozone possession and stuff. So it's all good.
I know we're still quite a week and a half away from the Four Nations, but what are your thoughts on it? Do you feel like there's any excitement brewing in Sweden or among your friends back home?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are excited about it. It's still, a road trip away. So just focusing on this game at home, and then we got a road trip, and then once that gets there, it'll be a lot of fun.
Have you got any texts from some of the guys that are going to be on your team? I know the other day Jesper Bratt said he's looking forward. He hopes, put a message out to the coach, he hopes he can play with you, and he's not the only one. So have you been talking to any of those guys?
I skate with Jesper a little bit in the summer, a tremendous player, and obviously we have a lot of great guys, but he would be a fun guy to play with, that's for sure. So far, I think somebody set up a team chat, nobody said anything.
What would it be like to play, say, power play with Victor Hedman?
Yeah, I mean, incredible. He's been one of the top, defensive guys and, I mean, power play guys in the league for a long time. So, yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, played with him the year that we won World Championships, so that was a lot of fun.
Will it be weird to go from teammates to be opponents to teammates, right back to opponents over the course of a month or whatever?
No, I mean, you play against your buddies. I mean, you play against guys you played with all the time. It's nothing different. I mean, maybe it would be a little bit weird if you played that last final game together and the next game you're playing against each other. But other than that, it's, yeah.
Last week, Line made headlines when he was asked about playing Sweden. He says, we hate them every time we play them. You guys feel the same way? I mean, I don't really know. I just think it's fun to play against Finland. They got a great team, and yeah, it's just always fun to beat every team internationally. It doesn't matter what country.
There's an opening on Team Canada's roster with Pietrangelo. What do you think, for a guy like Chris Tanev, what would make him a guy that would be a good fit, to play against as a defenseman? Yeah,
I mean, the way he plays defensively and, PKing, blocking shots, adds a lot of value that I think sometimes goes underappreciated, I think, and what he does every night is just incredible.
How does he set the tone for you guys defensively?
Yeah, I mean, some games he doesn't say much, but some games he'll be a little pissed off coming into the locker room after a period or whatever, telling us to wake up defensively, and I think that's good.
What was Monday like for you, the casino-themed gala? Are you a big gambler?
Not so much, but it's always fun to meet everybody and have a good night.
Do you have any bets with any other Toronto players that are going to the Four Nations face-off about who's going to win?
No, not yet, but I was telling Maddie that we might drop the gloves.
The challenge of the Wild tonight.
Very good road team. If you look at their record, very good structure. They got some real good players too. I know Kaprasov's out, but very structured team. They make you work for offense, goals. They do a good job with their structure and their D zone, and they don't give you a lot, and their goalies have played well.
If you get on the power play tonight, no matter how many times you do, how do you take advantage of a group over there that's near the bottom of the league in the PK?
Shoot the puck, find rebounds. Really, I mean, looking at it to this, last day or so and this morning, like we gotta attack and shoot pucks and get into that paint area. That's how you take advantage of it for me, from my standpoint. And that's 5-on-5 too.
What can Pacioretty bring to that group, that top unit?
Oh, just another. So the way it's been running with Nyes and Tavares there normally, we got the same type of player there with two big bodies around the net and in the blue paint. So looking for things around there, scoring goals in tight, screening the goalie. That's what their jobs are.
You mentioned the Wild's a good road team. You're about to go on a long trip. In your opinion, what makes a good road team?
Well, not beating yourself, I think, on the road. I think being patient and playing with real good structure consistently throughout the game. And, when you get your opportunities, hopefully you capitalize on them. But, you go into teams on the road and teams are fired up playing at home and they're coming, and you got to play with good structure and you got to check well and wait for your opportunities a lot of times. And to me, that's what makes a good road team.
Is it still the urge to entertain sometimes when you're at home, to maybe the temptation to get out of structure?
Yeah, sometimes I think at home, your players want to make plays and probably try things they shouldn't a lot of times, instead of just playing a boring game and take what they give you. That's what I said this morning to our guys. Just take what they give you. We don't want to beat ourselves here. Just take what they give you. They're going to be protected in the middle of the ice all night. They're going to do a good job of it. And, we've got to play behind them. We've got to work for our chances in the offensive zone. And again, get in the inside as much as possible and get pucks there.
Pontus Holmberg has played all over the place for you. He's been a healthy scratch at second line center, winger, whatever. Is there a part of his game that you think is there that you need to unlock?
Yeah, I've talked to Homer a few times about this, is when I watch him do things and I see the way he can skate and hang on to pucks and transport the puck up the ice and hang on to pucks in the offensive zone. I believe there's a lot more offense there with him. It's about just honing that in a little bit more and more of a confidence thing, I think, with him. He doesn't want to make a mistake, and he's got to kind of change his mindset and be more aggressive, because there's ability there. I do see ability, so I see more in him than what we're getting.
Do you think it helps him to play with a fellow Swede? I know his English has been a work in progress.
For sure. With the communication part of it, for sure. And, just understanding when you're playing with a guy like William Nylander, you get him the puck, like he's going to do his thing. And he's one of the best I've seen in the league at hanging on to pucks and, cutting back and creating space for himself. He doesn't need help. He needs you to get to the net.
With Peter Angelo out of the Four Nations, Chris Tanev's name is coming up. What are your thoughts on that?
He'd be a great fit. I mean, looking at their lineup and everything and what Tanny brings, Petro brings a lot of that too, with the penalty killing and the shutdown stuff. That's his baby. He's very good at that both. So it would be probably a good fit for him.
Is there anything you've learned about Tanev, maybe on the ice in his play, or just how he goes about his business that you maybe didn't know before? Very
professional, very consistent. I get the same thing every night from him. He's got great composure with the puck too. Like, he makes a lot of little plays out there that maybe go unnoticed a lot of times. But you're getting the same guy every night. Like, competitiveness, reading the play real well. He's got a high hockey IQ. He's just a smart player that very consistent.
Do you have a favorite Petro memory?
Petro? Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. He was a hell of a player, and I really enjoyed coaching him, I'll tell you that. I thought that, Ryan O'Reilly won the Conn Smythe, but this guy was deserving of it every bit as much, in my opinion. He was a real good player for us. He's a great pro. How I look at Petro is, what's the plan today? And he just follows through it. Like, he needs a plan. What's the plan today? What we doing? And very professional, comes to work hard every day, practices hard. Very dialed in professional hockey player is what.
Remember about playing against Billy Guerin, his competitiveness, and is their team kind of a reflection of?
Yeah, for sure. A hard-working team. He was a hard-working guy, very competitive, scored a lot of goals, scored a lot of goals in the blue paint and that type of player, and, mixed it up. Like, he was a great all-around player, and Billy's one of the funniest guys you ever want to be around. He's a great guy to be around and hang out with and talk and stuff. He's a fun guy.
Craig, just the schedule compression, 4 nations, have you noticed it being any more of a challenge than normal?
Yeah, some months. I mean, we went through that stretch earlier on. I thought, well, it's a lot of games and packed in there, compact, and it's going to get like that again in March, obviously. It's just a lot of back-to-backs we had early on, and then it kind of died off a little bit for us. But that was the challenge, I thought, early on. And then, now it's a little bit different now. It's almost, you have too much time off. And, it's just that unbalanced act going on. That's the challenge that I find. It's hard to get the consistency, but that's the way it is, and you just deal with it and do it the best you can with it. So that's March is going to be a real busy month for us again.
He says he talks to you in Swedish. How much does that help to play with a countryman?
It doesn't matter. It's fun. It's good for me. He can help me to talk Swedish, but it's fine. I understand English, so.
How much has your English improved, do you feel like?
It is better, much better. But my talk is sometimes a little bit not the best, but I understand, so that's good.
You'd like to watch Willie at the Four Nations tournament. What will it be like to watch Willie at the Four Nations tournament? Like to watch William play at the Four Nations tournament.
Really fun to see him in the Four Nations. So fun tournament to see. Yeah, I like to see Willie play hockey. So.
He never seems to get frustrated. Like, what do you notice about how he handles everything in Toronto? Like, he doesn't seem to get frustrated. He doesn't get upset. William Nylander. Yeah. Like, what stands about him as a person?
He's a good person. He doesn't care too much. So I don't know exactly what to say, but yeah, I don't know.
What stands out most about Chris Tanev? What stands out most about Chris Tanev? Like, just, his play. Like, what stands out most to you about him? Yeah, how he plays.
He plays really hard. He's blocking away shots. So I like to see him play hockey. So he takes down the shot, and he's really good at PK. So he's good at teammates.
Do you have any plans for Four Nations? Like, are you staying in town? Or
Going for a vacation in a couple of days. So yeah. Find sun.
As a team, what's the key to generating more goals? I guess the offensive zone time has been there, but what's the key to breaking through with some goals here tonight?
Yeah, I think we kind of talked about that. Just getting interior, getting in the middle of the ice more. Hopefully that ends up drawing more penalties too. The more you're a threat, the more likely somebody's going to take a penalty on you, or you'll get a chance around the net there. So I think that's just the most important, is get to the front of the net and get to the middle of the ice.
Speaking of the front of the net, what do you think Pacioretty can bring to that power play unit?
Yeah, I think he's strong in front. Really good stick, is able to find pucks there, and just a big body too to get the eyes of the goalie. I think he'll do well.
What stands out to you about the Wild as an opponent? They've been really good, especially on the road this season.
Yeah, they've been really strong. A lot of good success all throughout the season for them. They play a really well-structured game. They're strong in all three zones. I think it's just being patient and sticking to our game and trusting that what we're going to do is get pucks in behind them and go to work and compete, and then hopefully wear them down to a point where we come out on top at the end.
In your mind, how seriously should Team Canada consider Chris Tanev joining that team?
I mean, from my perspective, he's a huge part in us winning games. You don't always see it on the offensive side, but obviously what he brings on the defensive side with blocking shots, good sticks, always being in front of their guys, and then making that great first pass. Like I think that's always overlooked as a huge skill in this league. So I think it's definitely a big consideration.
We talked to him about it, and he's like, "I'm not focused on that. I'm not." He seems like a no-nonsense guy. Like, how would you describe him as a personality and as a guy to be around?
Yeah, I think he's so good to the guys. He's been around the league long enough, especially guys that maybe haven't been here long enough. He's really good at chatting guys up, understanding like what their situation is, and just a good leader. So I think he's really focused on our season right now. And if that opportunity came, I'm sure he'd be excited. But I think his focus is right now.
Does he ever address the room? Like, does he ever kind of try and get guys going? Does he ever use his voice?
I mean, not necessarily in a raw type, but he's always like seeing the game from maybe the defensive side of it, and seeing like maybe what the forwards could do better, like where we can be, and he's definitely vocal in bringing those sorts of things up, and like strategic wise, like how can we maybe get pucks into the zone easier and things like that.
The other day, Austin said, you and Matthew Nyes are virtually the same player. How would you say you're similar, and how would you say you're different?
Yeah, I think we're similar in that we're straight lines, kind of bigger bodies who like to get in on the forecheck, play physical, play fast. Nyes' pretty dynamic player, though. He's able to play that east-west game. He's got the good hands around the net, as he's shown in the previous games. Like he gets the puck and he's able to tuck it in there. So just small differences, but I think we're always pushing each other because we are similar type games.
What are Austin and Mitch like during games? Like when it comes to like adjustments on the bench, like what do you notice?
I notice that they see everything. So, they always know what's happening, and it's always just coming back to the bench, just little things here and there, like you call for the puck there, or try and open up there, or like trust that they'll get the puck. Like that's kind of the biggest thing I've learned is I don't need to always go and support them all the time, because obviously they're exceptional players and can make plays in tight spaces. So it's just finding the open ice, I think.
You guys don't have a lot of home games in the next stretch. Does that add any emphasis to these few ones that you do have?
I think so, yeah. I think we know that we don't have a lot of home games coming up, a couple big road trips. It's always exciting to play at home, and we love it. It's always a different energy at home. So I think it'll be a little bit more energy and a little more special being the last one for a bit.
For you guys to translate some offensive zone time into actual goals here tonight.
Yeah, I think just keep holding on to pucks. I think just getting pucks to the net, getting traffic to the net. I think we're maybe playing a little bit on the perimeter, so just get in front of the goalie's eyes. And they're a good team. We just gotta play our game and play fast.
What would it be like to play with Max Pacioretty?
Oh, it's great. He has such veteran experience, and he's a great player to play with. So much wisdom, and how much poise and how much knowledge he has in the ice definitely helps our line, and look forward to it.
What stands out to you about the Wild? Like they've been, maybe not having the best stretch, but they've been very good on the road. Like what stands out about the challenge they present?
I mean, they're a very good team. I mean, any team in this league can beat you any day. So they're a really good team. We got to bring our A game and hopefully get the win.
For a guy like Chris Tanev, is there anything that's surprised you since he's joined the team in the last year or so?
I don't know if surprised you. I mean, you just kind of get a respect of his role. I mean, I haven't really seen too much until obviously now, and he's blocking a lot of shots. He's so, I guess, surprised is just how key of a player he is to our team. With how committed he is to blocking shots and in our own zone, he's very valuable to our team.
Why is he so good at blocking shots, from what you can tell, as a guy who works on getting shots through?
Yeah, he just gets in lanes. He has good anticipation, good read on when guys are shooting. I'd assume so. And obviously, it takes a lot of courage to block shots because they're not easy to do and they're not. They don't feel great. So he obviously has the courage and obviously the wisdom to know when to block shots and get in the lane.
On Monday, you have the outdoor practice, the event at night. What have you kind of learned about the fan base here, and do you have a memorable interaction that you've had with a fan recently?
I had one. We had when the kids came in out of the locker room after the Columbus game. That was pretty cool. One of them related to me because their son was a NICU baby and they had my jersey on, so it was pretty cool. So I mean, you just realize how committed the fans are, especially Monday. It's cold out, to watch us do an outdoor practice where we're just going out there to have fun. For them to show up like that, it means a lot. So.
Yeah. What was Monday night like? The casino kind of theme? Are you
Yeah.
a big gambler or?
No.
Okay.
I stay away from that. But I won a lot of chips though. So.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but it was a good cause. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Been feeling the love from the fans over the last few days, but this is like your last home game for a while.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of home games. Like, how much more emphasis does that put on this one?
Yeah, we're going on the road for a bit, and then after the break, I think we're on the road again. So not many home games coming up and want to take advantage of our crowd and finishing off strong at home here.
How does it help you, home crowd?
I mean, obviously, like you have another, it's like the fifth line out there. You have another people on your side, so they can definitely get your energy up when we need it, and we look forward to it.